Microphone check, microphone check. 1 2 1 2. It's your boy Jonne Mack. This is another show of the Jonne Mack show. Just went on ahead and decided to let's just go ahead and take this whole thing live, right? The show today is gonna be called Same-ish, Different Toilets. And I'm sure by now, if we all been seeing the TV and the internet and so forth, the memes and so forth, gonna talk about the Bill Cosby. We'll talk about Brett Kavanaugh, how those cases are so similar, yet the outcomes are completely different. And this is in no way, when anybody that listens to this show today, I don't want you to take this in no kind of way, because I'm a father. I have 2 daughters that I love very, very much so. So I definitely understand, where any of these victims, regardless of how many years, or how much time it's been, I don't stand behind Bill Cosby just because he's black, just like I don't stand against or with Kavanaugh, whatever, either way. But I did just want to talk about the difference between the two, how it's pretty much the same-ish, just, that it's 2 different toilets, different outcomes. Also, I'm going to touch a little bit on Kanye West and who else? I'm going to touch a little bit on Kanye West. I want to touch a little bit on your boy old Trump. And all of that good stuff, man. I'm pretty sure y'all heard him out in, South Haven, Mississippi. It's close to my old neck of the woods, where he did a rally, and he's back to his same old rhetorics. So let me shut up with all this talking and let's get the show started. It's your boy, Jonne Mack.
Yes, dear.
Could you please pass me the Grey Poupon?
Is it that time again?
Yes, it's time for the Jonne Mack Show. Officially launched in 2018, the Jonne Mack Show follows trending topics that are molding both the American and global societies together. We thank you for tuning in as usual, as the topics brought to you today are what you care about the most. Be sure to subscribe on the Jonne Mack Spreaker Show and check your local times and listings on iHeartRadio. And now, without any further ado, we bring you the man himself. Here's Jonne Mack.
What it do? What it do, peeps? Yo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was sounding like it was doubling up or something. Huh. Yeah, y'all, so forgive me. I'm trying out some new software. Let's see here. Okay. All right, cool. Now I think I got it back. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason that thing was trying to double up on us right there. So yeah, man, I am the name of the show today is just pretty much called The Difference. And really I'm just discussing what we already kind of it's what we already kind of know. with this whole Brett Kavanaugh and, and what just happened with Bill Cosby. Now, crazy part about it with the Brett Kavanaugh and the Bill Cosby is that, now, one thing I can say in the Bill Cosby situation, he did admit that he was, I guess, giving the women quaaludes before he had sex with them. Now, he didn't say he was giving these quaaludes to these women without them knowing. Correct me if I'm wrong, all of these women knew. At least, the main one with, that just did the one that pretty much got him convicted. And a lot of these women were going back and back, to him, hanging out, even still. But then, let's turn it around to the whole Brett Kavanaugh situation, where, the biggest problem with that situation. Now, granted, I'm one that's not really getting how come everybody's getting, victimized the way they are. Like, why is all of this stuff coming out now? Like, these are years and years and years later, right? Years and years later that, these people are being charged. For Bill Cosby, all the way to, it's hard to say. If there's no proof, the only proof we're talking about is calendars from a calendar kept by Brett Kavanaugh from years and years ago, and I don't know how they're going to get the facts out of this on either side. But even like in Bill Cosby's case, now I think what sunk his battleship was when his plea deal that he not the plea deal, but when he settled out the first time. But I thought that if you settle out, that and if if there's any lawyers or anybody deep into law listening to this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought after you settled out, especially once you've paid your money, they couldn't just pop back up and then try you again with it. You've paid the money, everything's supposed to be done. That I would say at this point. But even still, why we know the double narrative with the treatments. Now, the thing is there's two different outcomes. Bill Cosby's charged, locked up in jail. And again, this is not one of these things where I'm just taking up for him because he's Bill Cosby. I'm not even into all that. But I'm just speaking on the subject. But there is a big difference. Now, Bill Cosby, the women with him, most of them went back multiple times to hang out. It was it is a continuous pattern, and if it was happening that way, it's sick regardless. But he was going, these women were constantly coming back, hanging out with him and whatever, and we know, they were probably trying to get into Hollywood and get their acting careers boosted and so forth, but whatever it was, they kept going back. The Kavanaugh situation, this woman says she was pent and held down. And it's a trip how you see so many people say, well, why she didn't say anything? She should have said something, long ago. To a degree, I kind of agree. But then at the same time, I don't know how it feels for that to happen. I don't know. Maybe that's something you don't want to talk about until whatever. Maybe there could be a little bit of a vendetta. It could be a little bit of both. It could be that she, she's hurt by it and she's been mad about it all these years, and boom, something popped up, and somebody got in touch with her and said, hey, well, I pay you some money if you could come forward and tell your story. So it could be a little bit of both. His battleship could be about to get, date. Somebody could be trying to sink his battleship for a political reason, but at the same time, did he really do that? Was that his character at one point of time? Yes. It's from the research that's been done and what's been presented in front of us, everyone knew that this guy used to, drink heavily, party heavily, and used to be wild and do and say wild things. What younger person doesn't? But at the same time, there's no way to be excused. But at the same time, couldn't Cosby doesn't even get that narrative. Cosby's situation is, go to jail, directly to jail. Do not skip go directly to jail. So anyway, let's do this. I want to get into some music today. Today, the music I'm gonna be jamming, man. I'm gonna jam some. Let's see. I think I got some Track Man, Promised Land, some 7 to Great. I think I got Go Down by Grind King, and I got a couple of ones, man. And y'all know how I go. The show is sponsored by JonneMack.com. That's JonnieMack. Mac World Media LLC, and of course, is sponsored by the freshest, hottest clothing gear out, Kick Door. That's KICDOR.com. Kickdoor.com. Now, if you go to, you can go to Kick Door, and if you go to Kick Door right now, they're running a special where you can get the Kick Door camo. Now, the Kick Door camo, I think is normally $30. Right now, if you go to Kick Door, or you can go to JonneMack.com and click the link. Once you click that link, you will see the Kick Door camo, where there's a special where the Kick Door camo is now just $20. So you get $10 off for going, courtesy of, the Johnny, supporting the Jonne Mack show. We also got the hashtag Make Florida Blue tees. Now those are, courtesy of Kick Door as well. The hashtag Make Florida Blue tees. Now we can do those. Those can be tees. Those can also be hats, skull caps, man, anything you name it. We can definitely get that going for you there. Shouts out to Casperlay Da Vinci. Thank you for the intro. Let's see, who else? What else was there? Oh yeah, and definitely shouts out to Seizure Designs. Seizure Designs doing the thing. Yes sir, yes sir. So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna get into this. Let's get into some Maniac Riders Boosie Juice right here on the Jonne Mack show, and then we'll come right back, and man, we're gonna chit chat and talk about it. Different shit, same toilets. Let's go, Maniac Riders.
Never thirsty, always hungry, always hungry. Never thirsty, always hungry, always hungry. I got boozy juice. I feel the hater proof. That's 'cause we sippin' on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's so super loose. That's 'cause she sippin' on. I got boozy juice. I feel the hater proof. That's 'cause we sippin' on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's so super loose. That's 'cause she sippin' on. Go lay my purple alphabet. You know what's coming about the dead. That boozy juice. She done got super loose. I am lemonade, little pineapple, strawberry kiwi, your natural food. Ultra premium vodka, but guess it was out of the bottle. Ooh, that tastes so smooth. Revved up off that 80 proof. Hey, take another sip. That drip. I got boozy juice. I feel the hater proof. That's 'cause we sippin' on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's so super loose. That's 'cause she sippin' on. I got boozy juice. I feel the hater proof. That's 'cause we sippin' on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's so super loose. That's 'cause she sippin' on. She in the cup in her hand. She ready for boozy juice. Doing this and now she wildin' up on the pole. She done sparked the club to get in they mode. They answer for bottles, the waitress they lickin' like models. They posing they chains. Maniac Riders, we fall in the club and them haters get to looking mad. Foul some shit that was off in the past. But hating at all time, so you first in the class. You can't get no pass. I'm hater proof, so I roll up the window with gas. Bang, bang. walking. For the consequence to be permanent for the shit that you're talking. I got boozy juice. I feel the hate of proof. That's cause we sipping on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's a super loose. That's cause she sipping on. I got boozy juice. I feel the hate of proof. That's cause we sipping on. She sip boozy juice. Now she's a super loose. That's cause she sipping on. Yo, label purple alphabet. You know what's coming up after that. That boozy juice. She super loose. Go label purple alphabet. You know what's coming up after that. That boozy juice. She super loose. Go label purple alphabet. You know what's coming up after that. That boozy juice. She super loose. Go label purple alphabet. You know what's coming up after that. That boozy juice. She super loose. Never thirsty, always hungry. We never thirsty, always hungry.
For all the hottest and the latest in street fashions, visit kickdoor.com. That's KICDOR.com. Kickdoor.com. We pledge allegiance to the grind.
I pledge allegiance to the grind. Fuck your team, they don't get it like mine.
Kick Door, we never take a knee when it comes to the work.
You don't work, you don't eat, and grandma, you don't sleep until you are doing more than making ends meet.
Kick Door, get me one way or the other. You hear me, boy?
Trap living the American dream. Pledge allegiance to the grind. Pledge allegiance to the grind. To the grind. Pledge allegiance to the grind.
You're listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch. You listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
Have you ever been pulled over by the police at 4 a.m. drinking after a party? Is your landlord violating your lease? You going through divorce, adoption, or child support? If so, then you need Legal Shield. Legal Shield gives you the law in your pocket through an easy-to-use app for just $20 a month. Always have 24-hour access to an attorney near you. If you need this, email me at macworld2020@gmail.com. That's Macworld, MACKWORLD2020@gmail.com, and put the law in your pocket.
You're listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
Yo, man, we back up in this joint, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so before I went and we had, went to the little break, we just pretty much chit-chatting and talking about the difference between the Kavanaugh situation and the Cosby situation, talking about metoo. Now, when I first was hearing all of the, everybody talking about the Me Too's and this and that, at first it was, it was okay. It was pretty cool to me because I'm thinking, in being a man that has daughters in the world, I want to know, I want to know. I can't imagine what women go through, and especially what these women, young girls that, will be going through as they become women. So I've always had an open ear and a place in my heart for, anything of the such, even growing up. The worst thing I could hear is a girl or somebody, was to say or tell me, anything crazy, like that's went on. And I've heard stories, even growing up, you hear girls tell you about they, uncles or whoever, which keeps you, alert and watching out for it to happen to yourself, but somewhere in here, there's got to be boundaries. And I'm just going to say it. I mean, I think somewhere. Now, I'm not saying that to nitpick at, any of the victims that have been, any of the people that have been victims, in any of these situations. It's definitely not to mispick at them, but how far back can somebody go to give an accusation without any type of any way to verify, for us to even verify anything that would have went on, pretty much no witnesses, how far back do we go? Where we at with all of that? And it's a tough thing to deal with, because on one side you don't want to seem like you're, definitely don't want to be shamming the victim, but and it's a good argument that's being made from both sides of the party. Now, the problem I got, and this gonna jump into the other thing, is they got down 45, and y'all know I wish I had my ain't nothing but the devil button, but like I told y'all, I'm on a new program, whatever, so I had it ain't nothing but the devil back by the time I do the next show. But with old 45, he takes a trip to my old neck of the woods, South Haven, which is right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. Actually, I lived in South Haven, for a good minute with my mother. She stayed down there for a long time. But, with him going and rallying out in, South Haven, in what he had said at one point, that, he felt sorry for the victim. He also felt sorry for Kavanaugh, so forth. And he was playing it fair. But dude gets in front of the rally, his rally full of people. And once he gets in front of his rally full of people, he turns into, the same guy that was, talking about building walls and kicking Mexicans out and all this kind of shit. And basically making fun of the lady. I mean, y'all have heard the sound bite, I'm pretty sure, everywhere. If you haven't, you could just even Google that speech where he makes fun of the lady, like, oh, I went out and I only had one beer. I don't remember anything else, but I had one beer. Well, I mean, shit, Mr. President, we talking about 1981 or 2 or something like that. I was born in 81. This might have, so like, that's a long time. I'll be 37. Very soon. In a few weeks, I'll be 37. So you're talking about 37 to 38 years ago, or maybe even 36. How it was in the early 80s when this happened. That is a long time to remember a lot of that, because if something like that were to happen to you, that's a traumatic event. The only thing that you probably would remember is that it happened. Yeah, I might have forgot the house, or I might have forgot the whatever, but again, even not to get off subject with that, the whole point of the matter is how is this guy is up in front of the world a couple of days right after Cosby gets put into jail, right in front of the entire world. They come out and they have this whole charade about this guy and what he's done, how horrible it is. Nobody's talking about locking this guy up. Now, granted, he was just going for an interview, but even with it being televised like that, and we're talking about something that could be, that can show criminal contempt, how come he's not going to be convicted with that? It seemed like some of this stuff seemed like it's on purpose. Seemed like they sent Bill to jail. And again, don't take this as I'm taking up for Bill. I am just talking about the situation at hand. I'm no Bill Cosby fan, especially after, the things that have come out about, Bill. So I'm not a big Bill Cosby fan, but I do know narratives. I do know when stuff isn't right. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about stuff that ain't right. So if we can treat Bill if all of that can go to bill, I mean, I just feel like it should be justice all the way around. I am not, again, I'm not one of those people that's, calling for, to free Bill or whatever. No, I just say, if we're going to do Bill, then let's lock up Kavanaugh as fucking well. Like, let's just be real about the whole thing. Let's lock up, let's lock up Kavanaugh. Period. Let's just lock him up. I mean, if he's found, true, and any of this is found true, I mean, using alcohol, I mean, getting drunk on alcohol or whatever, it ain't nothing. I mean, who people drink, especially in their college years. A lot of people drink and have a lot of drinks and do a lot of different things. But the one thing, the difference in those situations is, in Bill Cosby's situation, a lot of these women were coming to places where he was at and taking drugs from him, as opposed to this woman going, to a place where they are and everybody's getting drunk, and one guy, they pull her in the room and one guy holds her down and the other guy, and Kavanaugh does his thing. And then the problem is that there's more women coming out with the Kavanaugh thing. And you hate it when this type of stuff happens too, because you don't never know who telling the truth. But either way, it's like, this is horrible, man. Right? Horrible. Man, this stuff is horrible to imagine, because I couldn't imagine it happening to one of my daughters. Being told that they, being held down, and, a person having their way with them, regard. And it would be horrible if my daughters lied on a man. Let's flip the narrative. Let's say if she is, for whatever reason, lying or whatever, then that would be horrible on her part. I mean, on their part, on the girls' parts, because it would be like, well, damn, because you're still destroying a life. This is nothing to play with. And I don't know where this shit came from, that all of a sudden we've forgotten how to be people. We've forgotten what it's like to be decent people. I mean, true. We have. Everybody's forgotten what it takes to be a decent American. And I say, since 45 got in there, everybody's gave up on that. Because the racism has came out, which has always been there. It was like a Band-Aid on it. That's all it was. It was honestly like a Band-Aid. Then they tried to give Obama, so Obama was like the Neosporin, that when they gave us Obama, which is still good. I mean, nothing against President Obama, but I'm just saying, that was for black people, that was like the Neosporin. And it did calm some stuff down. Some things started changing, because it was a horrible economy that was inherited from President George Bush. And once it's gotten done, it took 8 years to clean up the mess. Well, I say took about maybe 6.5 years to clean up the mess. Right when things were turning around, that's when the things changed. And that's where the economy kind of got to where it was at now. And of course, Trump picked up on that, and he's been keeping it going. So the credit to the economy goes to both. If people want to make that argument, I mean, that still doesn't make him a good person. I don't give a damn how good the economy doing. When you treat everybody like crap, and you making fun of women that are saying that they got raped, it's one thing. When you come out on one, you come out calm when you're just regularly talking to people, but then you get to your rally and you get all these people there, then you want to get riled up and you want to say the craziest stuff when the camera's on. Dude, like, cut it out. Like, cut it out. It's just not understanding any of this, and everybody's so caught up in the in the politics of it, and I think we missing the real thing is that all of this is bringing to the light that this is a real thing. This is a real thing. The stuff the women are going through, getting raped and molested, and the stuff that I ain't even just saying women, the men, the people being lied on as well. people being lied like this. As a man, yeah, and I don't agree with Trump on nothing, but that is something. I mean, because it's on both toilets with that. Because for the men, right now, a woman can come out and say, "Hey, Joe touched me. It was 20 years ago. He pulled me in a room and did whatever, and there's no way to perform any tests. There's no way to, and then the thing is that then the memory will be, cloudy too, so you don't know, it's a scary, we going into a scary zone with these accusations. I think that with all of the regulations and all of the other different laws that are being changed and amended and all this kind of stuff that people want to put in, that people are trying to get into play, I think that needs to be one of the biggest things that we need to find out too. I mean, because as a man, I want to know, like, but what are you going to do about this? What's not to say that, I mean, luckily, I had the ability to technically work from home at the moment, but what if I did still have to go into a workplace, around a bunch of different women, and one of these women get pissed off at me? Maybe not right now, but let's say 10 years from now, one of these women get pissed off at something or whatever, and they come out and say, well, hey, Jonne Mack did this and this and that. What is my defense? What is my defense? Of course, if it's right then and there, then they can do, they got rape kits and rape tests and so forth. But what is my defense right now? What's my defense if a woman wanted to come out and say, 10 years ago, Jonne Mack did that? What's my defense? Scary. That's what. And when I say these things, that's what I'm saying. When I say scary, it's very. It's very scary on both parts. Like I said, and again, that's for that. But then there's also a bunch of predators. I mean, a lot with the metoo movement. All of these damn women ain't lying. And like I said, we've all heard stories, especially those of us, grew up and you've been around women, sisters, aunties, whatever, or just even at school, and you had friends that were women, girls you've dealt with, girls you've dated, so forth. I'm pretty sure a lot of them may have told you stories, unless there was a dominant male in their life that really cared about them. Nothing against women. I mean, and I'm saying but I'm just speaking from my side. A lot of the times, if they got these stories and nobody was ever speaking to them in those stories. A lot of people was ignoring these type of things. It wasn't a big thing till this Me Too, turned out. Now, once Me Too, I felt like it came out, but then it just turned into a thing. It turned into and that's always like the bad part of stuff like that. When it turns into like a trend almost, that's when it gets scary, because now we don't know who to trust, who not to trust, who's telling the truth, who's not, who's chasing the bag, who's not. We don't know. I tell you, it's gonna be crazy going forward, depending on how all of this come out. It's gonna be crazy, because I seen like Bill Cosby when he went to jail. Excuse me. Bill Cosby went to jail. Not to jail, but he went to court. Like 3-4 times, where they were convicting and they couldn't, and they did this and this and that, and still in the end, they put a 81-year-old man who's blind, who is now not a threat to society. They put him in a jail. It was a whole bunch of other ways that they could have even did that. Just at 81 years old. I mean, I'm not taking up for him. I'm just saying there's still another way. They do it all the time now. Certain criminals and people that they catch when people are, in the 80s or in the 70s, late 70s, it's different. things that they do to accommodate them, just knowing because it's age. It's nothing that they can do. These people are old. These people not. I mean, what would Bill Cosby had got restricted to house arrest, to where he couldn't leave his house. I mean, he can't do anything now. And just to, for them to, to have them in the jails like that, it's, it's a thing. But then, here's Kavanaugh, and he is, he's about to be, a judge. He's going to get that, that judge seat. See, here was an article here. This was in the, what is this, the Washington Post. Now, in the Washington Post, this was this morning. It said the Senate began reviewing the FBI's completed report on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh on Thursday morning, as the White House stood by President Trump's nominee, signaling nothing sufficient had been found to corroborate the allegations of sexual misconduct when he was a teenager. And how long ago was that again? It said the White House said overnight that it's fully confident that the Senate will confirm Kavanaugh, whose confirmation process had been roiled by the allegations of 3 women about his behavior more than 3 decades ago. The president, White House, the president and the White House firmly stand behind Brett Kavanaugh. It said that we believe that the Senate's questions have been addressed through this supplemental FBI investigation. And the thing is, I mean, even he's up there, he's crying, he's showing all these old emotions or whatever. I don't know what the point of all of this was. If they weren't going to convict him, this was just so that they could see if he's going to get another, a different job. Like, I don't see, like, if allegations come up against anybody else, normally you're stripped of everything. At least until it's all cleared up. Like, I remember when them allegations came up with Kobe. Man, they was trying to strip Kobe of everything. Usually anytime these allegations and stuff like this pop up, you done. You're done. You're in the mud. You're in the mud. But I don't know. But anyway, and if you're just tuning in, what we're talking about today is this is the different shit, same toilets, same shit, different toilets. And just talking about the difference between what's happening with Brett Kavanaugh and what happened to Bill Cosby. And you're listening to the Jonne Mack Show. Jonne Mack Show is sponsored by Kickdoor, KICDOR. And right now you can go to shop.kickdoor.com, or you can go to www.jonnemack.com, and for $20 you can get a Kickdoor camo. A Kickdoor camo. Now, the Kickdoor camos normally run at original price $30, but in celebration of the second season of the Jonne Mack Show, you can get your official Kickdoor camo, and it would be only $20. Also, from Kickdoor, you can get the Make Florida Blue t-shirts. They on sale right now as well, and there's other gear that's there that you can get. So go ahead and head on over. You can even do it while you're listening to the show. You can go to JonneMack.com. That's JonnieMack.com, and check it out, man. You can check out a couple of the older podcasts. Also, you can look on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. If you want to check out any of the older shows, I think iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts got like all of the shows. And also, you can always go to Spreaker.com, or if you need help, just always refer to JonneMack.com. This one right here we're going to get into. This is from my homie Trackman. This is from the Prelude 2. Now, coming soon, he got the Prelude 3 coming in the beginning of November. So, man, y'all want to be looking out for that joint. I'm going to do something real special for that joint. like right around the time that he's getting ready to drop that album and all of that, I'm going to be pushing it and get some exclusive cuts off of it and all that good stuff. But right now we're gonna go on ahead and get into this Promised Land by Trackman, and we're gonna come back. And we're gonna and when we come back, I want to talk about just I ain't gonna even stay long on it. I ain't gonna give them that much time, but I gotta kind of discuss it. We're gonna talk about the Kanye West whole Saturday Night Live, abolishment of the amendment, the 13th Amendment, all of that good stuff. So stay right here and rock with your boy Jonne Mack in the Jonne Mack Show. Trackman, Promised Land, let's go.
The Prelude to
You made me stick to the promise. I love this shit right here, nigga. You made me, yeah. Stick to the promise, man. You made me. They always talk about the promised land, right?
Listen to the Jonne Mack Show.
Hold on, let me hit this rock. Bounce. Promised land, yeah. Let go, yeah. Promised land, no, fuck that, I promised them. Tried the right way, but results wasn't promising. So competitive, skip the rhetoric's one of the greatest ever. No need to prove it, got a vendetta. I hustle for my last name, not my first name. Shawty said she loved me, that's the first game. Captain D's on Elvis Presley was my first job. Now I give him jobs, so none of my niggas gotta ride. I don't need a drone to get the bird's eye view. Gangsta nigga with a nerd IQ, this the real, I don't even add EQ, yeah. To my vocals, just reposition my vocal, woo. Must be on that profile, thinking I'ma fall. They can count on me every summer, spring, winter, and the fall. Yeah, all motherfucking year we hustling, we known for muscling up. Woo. Hit that pussy so good, make that bitch sing it falsetto, yeah. Hit that pussy so good, make that bitch sing it falsetto, woo. I'm the main, nigga, I'm the main. No disrespect to Shawty Low, man. Rest in peace to Shawty Low, man. Take your bitch and eat that pussy like it's low, man. Niggas make me laugh, no Damon Wayans. Take your bad bitch, fly it to the Caymans. Layman's. Grew up broke, eating hot dogs and Raymond's. Nigga, I'm the realest. Promised land. Take him to the promised land. Woo! Promised land. Take him to the promised land. Promised land, yeah, I promised them. Tried the right way, but results wasn't promising. Started base hustling. I'm the man. You made me stick to the promised man. You made me, yeah. Stick to the promised man. You made me. Whoa.
You're listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
Yes, sir.
You listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
We're going to get into this new joint from my homie, 7 the Great. This is Hello. And then we coming back right here on the Jonne Mack Show. Let's do it.
Cocaine white, dance in the air, propane night. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kite.
Cocaine white, dance in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello.
Can I get another hater?
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 They said I couldn't hit the proven wrong. Feel like promethazine in my song. A bad bitch on my other phone. She hooking up a threesome for later on. All I wanna do is fucking get money. Blame it on the weather, I'm just feeling sunny. Been on money shit like the president. Been holding on the checks every fucking 6. Cashing in like I'm Mr. Wow. Hoes turn me down, now they out stalking. The nigga that you with got you out here walking. I'm passing by in the whip, throwing water. Hope go write another letter. Cocaine white, gas in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello. Can I get another hater? 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 Get some stretches for them pussy niggas. I change directions on the pussy niggas. I get my cheddar, ain't no doubt about it. Stay strapped with them yokes, I can't do without it. Piece by piece, money standing on bricks. Hoes gon' talk, don't know about shit. Bitches gon' walk to the end of the line. I'ma make bullets hit the end of this ride. Hit it to the end of the motherfucking road. Nigga talk shit, that's a motherfucking hoe. Call it out, hit us like motherfucking soul. Got a real bitch, 24 years old. Bro, my neck be icy. Got a lot of haters wanna be just like me. Sliding on leather, red drink is my iced tea. Knocking niggas hoes, pussy niggas wanna fight me. Shots. Cocaine white, gas in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello. Can I get another hater? Hello. Can I get another hater? Hello. Can I get another hater? Hello. Can I get another hater?
You listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch. You listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
For all the hottest and the latest in street fashions, visit kickdoor.com. That's KICDOR.com. Kickdoor.com. We pledge allegiance to the grind.
Pledge allegiance to the grind. Fuck your team, they don't get it like mine.
Kick Door, we never take a knee when it comes to work.
You don't work, you don't eat, and grandma, you don't sleep until you are doing more than making ends meet.
Kick Door, get me one way or the other. You hear me, boy?
Trap living the American dream. Pledge allegiance to the grind. Pledge allegiance to the grind. To the grind. Pledge allegiance to the grind.
You listening to the Jonne Mack Show, bitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back in the building. Back in the building. So yeah, man. Before we was closing off, this is same shit, different toilets. We talking about Brett Kavanaugh. We talking about Brett Kavanaugh is the Supreme Court nominee. That's currently in court for. He's up for nomination, and he went to court to try to get the nominations of the different people in the House and so forth. And so he's being questioned there. We talking about Bill Cosby got locked up. We talking about Trump. Trump making fun of the victim. Brett Kavanaugh's victim, basically just, making fun, not really, not even really caring. He's not showing any remorse, not caring. So we talking about that. But something else I wanted to chime in on, and just put my 2 cents on was this whole, the whole Kanye West calls to abolish the 13th Amendment. Look, man, he's in the business to sell records, right? And that's what he's trying to do. His job is to keep attention on him and keep the public eye always looking at him and looking for what he used to do. And why I get all of that little crap, it's too far. And you can't sit there and say that he doesn't know what he's doing, or he don't know the narrative that he's pushing, or there's no agenda behind what he's pushing. That's bull. There's definitely an agenda to what he's doing. He's trying to, he's trying to sell records. We know that he's definitely trying to sell records and get his name up higher, and whatever. And while all of that is fine and dandy, he's doing it at the expense of serious issues. People are dead serious about all of this stuff, and this is the wrong time for it. Just sometimes stuff ain't about what it is. Sometimes shit is just about the timing of things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just the wrong time to do certain shit. And I feel that this is the wrong time to even be playing with that. I meant abolish slavery. And slavery was a choice. Man, it's too much going on for you to want to play with them kind of words and to put those statements out in the public as strong, opinionated statements. And no, it doesn't make it even better when we see you with the MAGA hat on. I don't care that you think wearing the hat shows people that we equal, or whatever he said in the little rap. Going on Saturday Night Live. Number one, what Saturday Night Live is all about. We know Saturday Night Live is that's a liberal platform, and you knew that. You've watched Saturday Night Live. I think you may have been on there before, but either way, even if you haven't, and you got too many people around you that can research. It's nothing to Google. Like, if I can pull my smartphone out and I can Google and pull up YouTube, and if I want to watch a couple of old shows, there's nothing. So for you to come on that show, to put that hat on, and then try to act like it's a big deal. Like, I don't get why don't nobody understand. Well, that's just like me. That's like if I was a Crip and I go to a Bloods TV show. I go to a Bloods TV show and wonder, man, I don't know why they don't like Crips. Why everybody? It's the same difference. Like, true. No one can go against who you support or what you believe in, Kanye. That's very true. But at the same time, you are using this to stir up things. When have you really went and did anything to have this discussion and go about this discussion? No, this is strategic. Even when you go on TMZ, the first time, and you make this whole rant and you say shit like slavery was a choice, nobody can tell me that you didn't, that wasn't something thought of. And then to come back and we're supposed to forgive it because you were on some kind of medicine and you start crying and shit, so we're supposed to forgive it because your music is dope. Like, I'm sick of that type of shit constantly going to play. And reading right here, there's an article. This is called the AJC, myajc.com. That's the Atlanta Journal Constitution. I think this is saying that rapper T.I. said that he agrees with parts of Kanye West's call to abolish the 13th Amendment. Article says that after causing a stir with his performance on Saturday Night Live, rapper Kanye West took to social media to add a little bit more fuel to the criticism and called for the abolishment of the 13th Amendment. We will no longer outsource to other countries. We build factories here in America and create jobs, West tweeted. We will provide for all jobs who are free from prisons as we abolish the 13th Amendment. And then T.I. came out and said on Instagram, he said, well, while I agree with most of the blank that Kanye West says, and his rants. I must say that the part about trying to amend or abolish the 13th Amendment, I actually agree with. T.I. said in the Instagram video, not because I think that slavery should be instilled. Nope. Because the 13th Amendment says that slavery should be abolished unless in prison. The constitutional verbiage he added, T.I. with these words, incentivizes mass incarceration and increases amount of scrutiny put on us and the law that affects us differently than they affect white people. 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865, abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime. The rappers committed in a slew of controversy, from former NAACP Cornell William Brooks and actor Chris Evans and many more. West returned to Twitter to clarify his statements, adding that the 13th Amendment is slavery in disguise, meaning that it never ended. And I mean, I get that, but I feel like when he put that out there the first time, he knows, like, there's too many these people got teams of people around them that can check and proofread shit before they do it. They have to. The whole thing that Kanye and what Kanye is on, and the problem with it, especially that you take it so personal with Kanye, is that Kanye was most like all of our boy. Like, that's how we all felt. We all felt like, regardless of what dude said or he did, it's, everybody was, cracking on him for being crazy or making these kind of remarks about other little weird things. It was, it really wasn't an issue, because when it came to blacks and black people, Kanye always spoke for us and to us on all his different albums. I mean, from the jump all the way to, until about recent, he was, it was, pretty much a pro-black stance, regardless of what he jumped on stage with Taylor Swift and said, so-and-so. And, even with him being in an interracial relationship, it wasn't a big deal, because there's a lot of black men that are that date or are married to white women, and they're still pro-black. That's not really that different of an issue. Now, when it comes out in this Kim Kardashian, you kind of question yourself, because you say, really? Like, out of all the women you can have, really. But whatever. You like what you like, you do what you do. So that, that part of it is kind of weird. But when you constantly come out and say things and do things, like wearing that hat, like, I would have appreciated it more if he had went on a speaking thing. Let's say if he had kind of like a speaking tour, because that's mostly what all his stuff is turning into anyway. It's turning into platforms for him to speak. I mean, he do music, but most of his shows and most of the stuff he's been doing in the last couple of years since he released that St. Pablo album, it's mostly been about, it's mostly rants about this and that. If he came and really was talking to people to express what he was talking about, like, not when it's too late, not once everybody's mad, because now it just looks like a cover up that you just, somebody's telling you, hey, go say this because this is going to damage your brand, or this is going to, like, a lot of this stuff you constantly come out and throwing it in our face, that it's almost like a big F you. You're not a political person. It's not smart for you to go out and wear the MAGA hat and say, oh, well, so what that he has things that he needs to work on, things that I don't agree with him with, but we got to do it with love and all of that. Dude, like, have you really listened in to come on these interviews with Charlemagne the God and all these different people that you're popping up doing interviews with, and you basically say that you don't know nothing that he said? You just saw a few campaigns and said, oh, that's my guy. Like, think about these things. Like, is this for real? Is this man really able to play us like that? Like, in real life, if he wanted to know about Donald Trump or the things Donald Trump is saying, and he's hearing everybody say that they hate him, it's nothing for Kanye to get a laptop and cut it on, or get somebody to get the laptop for him, cut it on, and go through some campaign speeches, print out some transcripts of some of the speeches, and say, this is so that way you can see it on paper, who and what you're dealing with and what you're going against. To say you don't get why everybody's upset and we all need love and everything needs to be based off love, dude. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being 100, man. Like, come on, dude. It's just come on, bro. Like, just let it go. We see what you're talking about, man. Yeah. Let me see something. It was something else I had seen that had me. And Kanye defends Elon Musk, jumps on the school desk and tell everybody to leave Elon Musk alone. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, the $300,000 car, $500,000 car. Yeah, and I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words with all of this crap. But at the same time, like I said, it's the same shit, just going through different toilets. Period. It's the same shit that's been going on. It's just different toilets in different conditions. Depending on the circumstances. That's what it's showing us here. Yeah. So, also coming up, we still are continuing the Make Florida Blue podcast special series of the Jonne Mack Show. I've done, we did Miss Kaiser King, and she's running for Senate, state Senate. We also did a great interview as well with Miss Yvonne Hayes Henson, and that was very good, and thank you to both of those ladies for allowing me the chance to speak to them. And I got like about 2 or 3 more that we trying to get done and get in before November the 6th. And wherever you at in the United States, November the 6th, it's going to be pretty important. I'm not going to lead you and tell you who to vote for, where to go, or whatever. I mean, I say vote blue, especially if you're in Florida. But wherever you at, there's something to check out. Just something to get into. It's something to Google the candidates. I mean, with all of this information, and you able to get information at any time, Google these candidates, find out what they're talking about, find out the candidates in your area, see who's running for what, find out what history you can find out about them, and go and push the button. Because if you don't push the button, there's no talking about, oh man, they passed a law that said this and that, and if you didn't vote on it, and there's nothing you can say about it. And that's just where it's at. And if you can't vote, go to the poll. Take somebody to the polls who can vote. Take somebody with you to the polls. Or take somebody to the polls. Ride, whatever the case may be. Help them out. Go pick up some old people who can vote, who probably don't have a ride. I mean, it's stuff we can do. Even if you can't vote right now, or you got felonies, or whatever the case may be, it's still ways that you can get involved and make sure that the people that's going to be voting, for your behalf, get them to the polls, help them out. There's plenty of ways that we can help, and we can do this. So, again, we're going to be still doing the Make Florida Blue portion of the podcast over the next couple of weeks while we get ready to close out. And man, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I got for today. I think we're going to come back in maybe about a week to 2 weeks. We're going to come back with the regular Jonne Mack Show. In between then, I'm going to try to knock out a couple of more of these Make Florida Blue podcasts. You can go back and check the older ones. I'm going to try to upload the 2 from Miss Henson and Miss King. see if I can upload them to JonneMack.com, and that way you can see those. If not, you can definitely go listen to them. They got some real topics, real issues. Especially if you are a Floridian, such as myself, some stuff that you want to hear about, and you want to be aware, and you want to find out what's going on with your candidates. And so before we get ready to roll, I am gonna close this joint out with Grind King and Trackman. This is Go Down. This is Go Down. We gonna close it out with that. And you got any questions or anything, man, any topics or anything that y'all want me to talk about, I mean, don't hesitate. You can go to Jonne Mack, JonnieMack at JonneMack.com. That's Jonne Mack at JonneMack.com. You can go to the website. Don't forget to get your Make Florida Blue t-shirts. There's a special right now with the camo hats. All of this is courtesy of the sponsors of the show, which is Kick Door. And again, this show can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker.com. Where else is it? And iHeartRadio. We're in a couple of places, and anywhere else that podcasts can be heard, and where podcasts can be listened to at. So on that ticket, I'm gonna get ready to get on up out of this joint, man. Like I said, we're gonna jam this Go Down, and that's gonna be it for today, man. I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy, man. Appreciate it, man. All right, let's get out of here with this Go Down. This your boy, Jonne Mack, Jonne Mack Show. Make sure you go to JonneMack.com and holler at me. Let's go it.
I got that drop top beamed up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down, go down. It's about to go down, yeah. Exit off of I-240, catch me in a haven, yup. You ain't talking money, then that's not a conversation. And that good shit that I'm puffin' keep me higher than a spaceship. Keep that lean up in my cup, I pick it up, take a sip. Got your girl the backseat of my whip, she licking her lips. While her best friend is licking her clit. That's boss shit, no middleman, 100% profit. I'm God sent, and now it's time to show the world what I did. Nigga, I stare death in the face, won't close my eyelids. Drop 100,000 on the table, that's where I been. And you know I do what I gotta do, make sure I win. It's about the G-O-D-O-W-N. I got that drop top beamed up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down, go down. It's about to go down, yeah. I got that drop top beamed up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down. It's about to go down, yeah. If you can watch me struggle, watch me hustle, watch me come up. And I don't hear you talking, I suggest you shut the fuck up. Ain't that lean that we be sipping, keep me leaning like a kickstand. And you know I keep my circle tighter than a wristband. I can do this shit myself, believe me, I don't need assistance. If you say you need it, I can get it in an instant. You can catch me on the front line and them haters in the distance. Trust me, I done murdered motherfuckers with one sentence. I don't need no fingerprints, no evidence or witness. You can make it anywhere if you can survive Memphis. And I do this for the haven. I'm going in. It's about the G-O-D-O-W-N. I got that drop top beamed up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down, It's about to go down, yeah. I got that drop top beamed up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down, It's about to go down, yeah.
Have you ever been pulled over by the police at 4 a.m., drinking after a party? Is your landlord violating your lease? You going through divorce, adoption, or child support? If so, then you need Legal Shield. Legal Shield gives you the law in your pocket through an easy-to-use app for just $20 a month. Always have 24-hour access to an attorney near you. If you need this, email me at macworld2020@gmail.com. That's Macworld, MACKWORLD2020@gmail.com, and put the law in your pocket.
For all your custom printing needs, be sure to visit LesureCustomPrintings.com. That's LESURE, CustomPrinting.com. They got you on all your custom printing needs. T-shirts, stickers, posters, card decals. They got you on all that. Be sure to visit the website or on Facebook and Instagram. LesureCustomPrinting.com. It goes down.
Got that drop top cleaned up, chrome looking nice. Middle fingers to them louds, cause we ballin', yeah, it's about to go down.